Okay, thank you. Alizea, let's talk about her first. Sounds like things are rocking along. I'm sorry she didn't like working at the boarding place. That was kind of surprising. Did she just not like to work, or what was it? What was up with that?
Anticipating having to
Can
literally
y'all
train
hear
the
her, or am
animals.
I frozen?
I
could hear her, Judge.
Can you hear me?
Oh, no, say it again. She didn't like that what?
She didn't like the fact that she had to actually train the animals. She thought she was just going to be participating by sitting the animals, caring for them. So she just said that's not for her. So she's looking for something else.
Does she want to go work at like a vet clinic, being a assistant there?
She's actually looking into other dog groomings. She's not said that whether she wants to actually go into a veterinarian practice. She just said it's not for her.
Okay. Okay, but she still likes going and seeing her mentors and hanging out with their pets and doing all that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's got a very good bond with them. She's working on one, Chewy. She's working on one of the dogs to try and settle him because he's a bit boisterous. Blue. But they are gorgeous little dogs, though, I must say. They eat, but they're noisy.
I'm a little concerned about her gaining weight.
She's signing in, Judge.
Okay. What's up? Are we watching that? What's up with that?
I think it's just a bit of her being a little down, a little depressed, a bit anxious of her circumstances, wanting to speed things along, feeling a little pressurized, with getting her paperwork ready for college and just meeting eligibility requirements.
How's you're muted.
Hi, good morning. I didn't get the last part of your question. It kind of broke out.
I was just worried about how your health is. You're doing okay?
I'm not sure because I've been having some problems in my chest. I don't know what it is, but my doctor is referring me to cardiology so they can check.
Okay. Good. And are you working at all now? Are you looking for a job? What are you doing?
I'm just doing Rover. I've done my hours for this month. I do have an interview, unfortunately, on my birthday, but I had to accept it because,
Darn.
For Marshalls on Thursday.
Okay, good. Maybe you can get some discounts on some clothes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Are you done with all animal stuff, or you just don't want to be in that field, or what?
I'm still debating. It's just honestly, I've been kind of really stressed lately. Recently, like with my Rover trips and stuff, animals are just like children almost, I realized. And very needy, so I don't know if I'm ready for that. And I just also my allergies as well.
Right, I was a little worried about that.
And lately I've been stuck in this house with like dogs that have been barking all day because of construction people that are coming and building the pool, so they just bark all day.
Well, I think you're smart to compare them to children because they do require care all the time, and sometimes they'll get on your nerves all the time. So that's good. So hey, that's good birth control. That's good, all kind of things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they chill out, and a lot of I'm a firm believer that dogs are like the people that they, you got to train them. What is it? There's no bad dogs or bad people, or whatever that saying goes. Whatever. But I'm an animal person too. Isaiah, is there anything I can do for you? Any orders you need? Are we just rocking along? Yes, ma'am.
Can I show you my favorite dog?
Yes, ma'am. Of course you can.
Okay, oh, I found the button. Let me, okay. His name is Toro. Toro.
He's pretty darn cute, huh?
He's so cute.
He's.
I don't know.
Are
I don't know what he's doing.
the mentor's house, Isaiah?
Yes, and that's
Okay,
his brother Blue.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah,
So
Toro's
are
my
you
favorite.
staying there all the time? Or are you staying at the SIL?
I'm mostly here.
Okay. And how close is that to the SIL?
Like 45 minutes, I think.
Oh, so it's ways.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. And remind me how you met those folks?
I met them through Raven, through, I believe, she set us up to go meet each other at Outback.
Okay. And how many people live there?
Right now it's just them two and their son and the 3 dogs.
Okay. Okay. Well, anything you need today from me?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Department, y'all need anything, Ms. Torres?
No, Your Honor, we don't, not at this time.
Okay. Denise, y'all need anything?
Yes, Your Honour. I just want to see if we can get any funding, additional funding for Alizea to get her started on her driving classes. She's already completed the paperwork, so I have reached out to.
Go on, Ms. Hanley.
I have reached out to CCWB, but they said that DFPS has to apply for it. But I don't want there to be a delay because where Alizea is, transportation is definitely a must. So she needs to be up, rocking and rolling, according to your words.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Torres, what can we do about that?
Yes, ma'am. So PAL received funding for the fiscal year for driver's education. So her PAL coordinator, Morgan, already has that information. She got the W-9 from the facility directly, so they should be coordinating payment. And I believe Morgan was out for a little while, but the last update I received was on 7/25, and she was processing the invoice.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like a good plan. Yay, yay. Miss Mystic, what's up?
So Allie and I've talked, and so she needed a few things, and I think we've taken care of that. And what she needed will be there tomorrow. And so plugging along, just working on job, and I think once we get driving, that'll help.
Right.
Get that going.
Elzay, how far is Marshall's from where you're living or hanging out?
It's about, honestly, it's very close. I don't know the exact mileage or minutes, but my brother, I call him my brother, the one that lives here.
Right.
He works right next to Marshall's at Home Goods.
Okay. I love Home Goods. They're cute stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's good. Okay. Well, get with Raven and get with Morgan, your PAL coordinator, and let's see about that driver's ed stuff. Okay.
Okay.
And it sounds like we got a plan. Let me just say everything continue. Next hearing. Let's see. Let's just do 3 months again. Let's do, where are we now? And your birthday's tomorrow. Do you want me to sing happy birthday to you?
Yes.
Oh, no. Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Happy birthday. I have a
To you. We'll help you.
birthday.
Day to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
dear.
Oh, that's terrible. That's
It's
terrible.
awful.
Start again.
I have a good voice. Hey, at least I bet you how many other judges sing happy birthday to their on Zoom. So no, really
not singing.
Happy birthday tomorrow. You're gonna be 19, right? Okay, well,
Yes,
I hope you stay in extended care, and I hope that's good. It's good to have the resources and the people to help take care of you and guide you and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Don't get some knucklehead idea and change if you can, without talking to Dory and Denise for darn sure. Okay. I mean, just because you're going to be 19 tomorrow doesn't think you know it all, girl. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okie doke. Okay. We'll be back on 11/6 unless you need to talk to me anytime before then. Okay.
Okay.
Okie doke. Good luck. Good luck. I like marshals. Like I said, that would be cool. Them goods would be cool. Get on when you get that driver's license stuff going, get on that and, fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Okie doke. Kiss those puppies for me.
I will.
Okay. Bye. See ya. I didn't have any reports on Jordan. So is there anybody?
Yeah, she left, Judge. We closed. Yeah, sadly, she left the Baptist home and moved up near Bowie, Texas, with a boyfriend.
Oh well, I think I remember that. Was that a while back?
Yeah. I mean, it was 2 weeks after she went to the home, and she moved away. And the phone we got her, she gave to somebody else. So
Good job.
I shut it down. Yes, did. The last I heard from her was wanting money, and I said, I'll talk with you, I'll do what I can, but I'm not sending you money until we can see something you're doing, or but she moved in. They're not more. I mean, that's been a long time because and so and her sister
she wanted money. Yeah,
sister's having a baby.
Yeah, she's been texting me as well.
Yeah, Mackenzie. I know that's not her. We're not dealing with her. But anyway, she got picked up, was in jail for several months, got out, and apparently, because she came by to pick up more of her documents from my office, she's pregnant and moving to Kentucky. I don't know if that happened. I haven't seen her by the library. So that's where they were living, under the little portico at our public library. But just tragic. I hate what happened with Jordan. I do. I mean, you should have seen that birthday party of all those caseworkers, didn't he? Everybody that has, but I haven't heard from her in a while, but she's pretty upset with me for turning that phone off because she got a different phone. She did get a phone, an iPhone. And I said, where's the phone I got you. She said, oh, I have a friend that was abused and she really needs to keep it. And I said, I'm so sorry, but no. The phone is hers, but I just shut off the service because she does have, but anyway, she was working as a waitress, but I don't know if she's still doing that. Do you, Denise?
No, she got upset with me as well because she was asking for me to send her some money to cash out her. And I said, no, not doing that. So she got a bit belligerent.
No, get a job. You got a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. She, she had come to church with us. So I said, what about in the town you're in? Find a church, get involved in your community. And she said, there's no churches in this town, which we live in Texas. There's churches in Pidco, Texas, So I looked up and found about 5 churches in her town, and I said, you can, not to get money, but to get that support. And I haven't heard from her.
No. Okay. Well, we're going to close the case.
I know.
I wish they both pull their heads out and come back to care, but so okay, well, sorry to hear that.
Heartbreaking. Thank you. Me too. Me too.
We had a special hearing a while back, I believe, and then so I don't think I've heard anything since then.
No, ma'am. There are some things that's going on. I was hoping somebody from the CPA would be here this morning. Out in California, I had invited them to attend. The CPA out there had some concerns with Mrs. Chang, and I believe I've alleviated all of their concerns. In California, they're a little bit different. Each of the CPAs actually contract with the individual county that they're in versus the state like they do here in Texas. And so we've been trying to work with the CPA out there to get them contracted with the state of Texas, because that would be required to do adoptive placement to move ahead with the adoption. And because the CPA had some concerns, it was taking a little while. And I think I've addressed all those concerns excuse me, when I talked to Miss Sheridan, who's the head of the CPA, on Monday, she was running some things by her legal department, and she had some questions to ask concerning Medicaid and things, and I've answered all those questions for her. So I do believe that the CPA is going to move ahead with contracting with the state, which would allow us to complete the ICPC. Now, all of that said, I'm about to be very, very unpopular with Dory and Mr. Miller and Mr. Kevin and with the court. Their contract, excuse me, and the ICPC needs to be completed before school starts, mid to late August. Under policy and under the ICPC rules, Ms. Chang cannot enroll Aiden in school unless she's the actual placement. And she right now is not the actual placement. And the department's policy on this would be Aiden would have to come back to Texas to start school until the ICPC and the contracts were finished. I know that's not what Aiden wants. I know it's not what Dr. Miller or Mr. Lee or Ms. Mystic would want. But we're afraid that if we allowed her to enroll him in school, which would violate, ICPC rules, that then the CPA in California would have problems moving forward because we were, not keeping with the ICPC rules. And I wanted to throw all that out there up front. I did let Chuck know yesterday. I sent him an email about what was going on, just so my own attorney's not blindsided. And this was stuff that came up late yesterday afternoon when I was staffing with my bosses. So I apologize, Dory, that I hadn't had a chance to talk to you about it. And is there anybody in the waiting room, Your Honor, that looks familiar to us?
I texted Misty.
What we're not going to be able to have a long hearing on this today.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
We're on a huge timeline today.
Yes, ma'am. I saw your docket.
No.
Why, can I ask something?
Yeah, go on, Dory.
Why can't we homeschool? Why can't the judge order him to be homeschooled? I mean, he's been homeschooled all summer.
And yes, ma'am. I believe technically that would constitute him being enrolled in school, but I
guess there's some stuff we can look into ASAP, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Depending on what you want and the judge orders, and
why don't we? Are y'all available Monday?
I of course can make myself available Monday, Your Honor.
Wow, I am too. I have something now I'm gonna go in the morning. I just have to take a grandkid somewhere. As you well know, we're going in all different directions, band camp, cheerleading, all this stuff. Anyway, but I've got the whole day I can jump on.
Chuck, what about you, Mr. Miller?
I'm going to be flying back from Florida on Monday.
Okay, I think we can do it without you, though.
Sounds good.
I mean,
the only thing
no offense, Mr. Miller. What about you? Are you available Monday?
Unfortunately, I'm not, Your Honor. But Kevin, are you available? I'm out of town.
Yes, next Monday, yes. And Your Honor, Claire told me that they could get with Miss Tammy Lee. I guess she's some education person in Texas that could help with the stuff as far as the schooling. I understand what the department is saying, and I respect it, but I'm just scared that if Aiden comes back here, he's gonna fall off the wagon because he's gonna feel that everybody has let him down. And like I said, I understand what the department is saying. I just don't want him to get back here and then he's shut down and don't want to do nothing and feel like everybody, even though we haven't, he's gonna feel like everybody's betrayed him because he's already got in his mind that he's staying in California and not coming back here. And he already looks at her as, he already calls her mom, but I'll be available Monday.
Misty just signed in. Maybe she could be available, and because I understand it's about California, but we could.
Well, I could do it Friday too. You might want to do it Friday.
I can't. I'm pro se clinic. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The only thing I have on Monday, Your Honor, I have a meeting at 1 o'clock concerning one of your children that I have at New Horizons.
I don't know which one that is.
Mills County.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I have that at 1 o'clock. That's about it shouldn't take very long, probably from about 1 to 1:30 or 1:45. But other than that, I'm available, ma'am. And I can, Ms. Lee, who Kevin mentioned, Tammy Lee is our Region 7 educational specialist. She can give us information, but she can't overrule federal law. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, let's do it I hate to do this, but let's do it at noon on Monday.
Misty, can you sign in Monday, you and Aiden, because we've got some things we need to discuss, and the judge has a very short time today, and we want to give all the time we can to be able to work through what needs to be worked through. So can you sign in Monday Central Time, 12?
It'd be noon Central Time, 10 a.m. your time, Misty, on Monday.
Yeah, let me look. I apologize for the delay. I had to get him up and I was in the bathroom myself.
Nah, that's okay. It's where you guys are.
Let me see. Oh, that would be the 5th?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's wide open. So 10 o'clock Pacific time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we can reconvene at that time?
Yeah, we're just going to recess. We're not going to do an order or anything. I don't think we need it for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to recess until noon on the 5th.
It's the same number I sent you last night, that number 929, just type that in.
Got it. Okay. Great. Thank you.
I'll have an hour because Mr. Bowden has to leave at 1. Is your meeting on Zoom?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. So we'll recess to noon on 8/5/24. Okay.
So we'll have an hour, did you say? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And will you be needing Aiden the whole time, or should I call him in once you're ready for him?
Yeah, I would like to call him in when we're ready.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all. Okay, we'll see y'all at
Thank
noon.
you.
on
Bye,
Monday.
Aiden.
Thank you.
May I be dismissed, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, go away, Mance.
May I be dismissed, Your Honor?
Yes,
Well,
sir.
All right,
Sorry. Call me this evening.
I will. I understand.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye. Thanks, Chuck.
Oakland is with their foster family in the Austin-ish area. I'm concerned about mom's attentiveness during some therapy sessions or some doctor's appointments. Dad is still in jail. Well, obviously probably will be for a long time. What did I write down? What is that word? I don't know what this word is. So anyway, maybe a boyfriend situation. There's some grandpa situation. So I don't know. Things are just lots going on. Mr. Sturmer, you may begin.
I'd like to call Madeline Miller.
Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Miller, in the report, it talks about the mother's therapist recommending her visits to be extended. Can you explain what the department's position is on that?
We are trying to do baby steps on extended visits on the weekend, to give the mom and grandfather and grandmother more time with Oakland. We still do have some concerns with that because mom has another person that's been hanging at the house and sleeping at the house. And I'm in the process of running backgrounds, and I sent them for drug testing today. And I don't, obviously don't have the results back yet. But we're trying to do baby steps to possibly go to a monitored return, but there's still a lot of concerns.
So who is this person?
Her name's Kimberly, and she's supposed to be a friend of mom's for the past 15 years, but hasn't been involved or hasn't been around as far as we were made aware of. I did do a spot visit at the home yesterday, and she was there at 2:30 in the afternoon, sleeping in the back bedroom.
Okay, so did mom tell y'all that she was living there, or did y'all just happen to find out?
Well, she's not supposed to be living there from what they're saying. They did tell me last week, they said that she was a support system. They did give me her name. I did start running a background. I'm still doing some digging on it. But it's, we just need to make sure that everybody's safe and that, that's going to have constant contact with the household.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Judge. The placement's in the waiting room. They said, did they put their name? I hope. Sorry, Judge.
Everybody out. Grayson
It's
Reed
all-
and Sarah Sanchez Shandell, Douglas Dodson, foster mom Grayson, Emma Lee.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Well, they just showed up.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, keep going, Mr. Sherman.
So the recommendation from the therapist says extend mother's visits as long as the department monitors the cleanliness of her home. So what's the status of the home right now?
So the house was a lot better than it has been. There's usually the last time I was there was a lot of dog hair in the air vents on the floor and everything. And Oakland has some medical issues with breathing and stuff. So it looked a lot better. It's the therapist still has concerns as well. But she did agree to go ahead and extend the visits as long as the home was kept up.
Okay, so are the visits happening in the home?
No, not right now. We're trying to get him to extend longer, so eventually the visits will be in the home. So we are working on, I think this weekend they've got a 4-hour visit. Next weekend we'll start the 8-hour visit, and they will be allowed to bring Oakland to the home for the visit.
Okay, well, you're kind of breaking up on my end. Did you say something about the child having some allergy issues or breathing issues?
Well, she just had her adenoids removed Monday. So she's having issues, with breathing and swallowing and stuff, and she's in swallow therapy and all that. So the dog hair or dust and excessive dust would be an issue for her.
So how does the department plan to ensure that there's not going to be any issues at the home if the child's visiting the home?
We're going to do spot checks. I was speaking with Casa this morning about arranging that.
But I mean, if a child has that serious of breathing and medical issues, I mean, just putting your eyes on the home isn't going to be enough to ensure safety, is it?
Well, I mean, this is hard. I mean, we want to give mom the opportunity to work with her. I mean, the house is clean. I mean, it's never going to be without dog hair because they have dogs. We just have to monitor.
It could be an ongoing issue to me.
Yeah, I can.
Have we talked about keeping the dogs outside?
We've had discussions about the dogs. I've discussed with them about, placing them in a certain area of the home to where the dogs don't have access to the entire home. But when I went yesterday, they were still roaming through freely.
Okay.
Is she allergic
Anything else
to
you want to
dogs?
make the court aware of? Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
Is she allergic to dogs?
Not that we're aware of, because she hasn't really been exposed, because fosters do not. Yeah, Emma, y'all have a dog, right? Yeah, she's not allergic to them, right?
Okay. I mean, asking somebody to put up their dogs. I mean, I'm gonna put up my husband before I put up my dogs. I mean, just saying. So he minds better than they do, maybe some of the time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if she's gonna be around dogs, she's gonna be around dogs, I mean, cat, everything. So
I'll
Okay,
pass this.
thank you. Anybody else have any questions of Ms. Miller? Ms. Bennett?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, sorry, I'm on my iPad because I'm double doing today. Ms. Miller, I guess, what else do you need Brittany to do in that home for you to say that her home is okay for her to have overnight visits with the child?
The home is not the primary issue. The issue is mom's realization on Oakland's needs. Mom doesn't seem to be quite understanding the seriousness of her medical issues, and had even made a comment recently during a therapy session that she didn't think she needed these therapies. And I explained to her that this was something the doctors were recommending. It's not something CPS is initiating. And it seemed like she didn't realize that. But it doesn't seem like mom's really understanding the severity of Oakland's issues. And that's what we're trying to get through with therapy and her continuing to attend the therapy sessions.
Okay. So as far as the home goes, is the home okay and approved for visits?
Yeah, I believe the home will be okay as long as they upkeep with the dog hair and stuff.
Okay, but and everyone's focusing on the dog hair, but the foster parents have a dog too. So, I mean,
yeah, but they don't have it
around dog,
right? And there's always going to be dog hair around. I get that. The foster parents, the home is a lot cleaner. Okay, they don't allow clumps of dog hair. The home, Brittany's home there was a lot of dog hair all over the floor. The air vents were clogged with dog hair. They did clear the air vents out. They did clean up and stuff. And there is still a little bit of dog hair everywhere, but it's not like it was before. But that was the issue we were having with the dog hair.
Okay. Okay. So the house is okay as long as they don't let the dog hair get too bad.
Right.
Is that, I don't want to miss. Okay.
Keep it under control.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just trying to see, I mean, I feel like we're kind of like at this standstill where she's just stuck with driving all the way to Austin every weekend to have a visit with her child, and we haven't like moved forward. I was really hoping we would move forward between the last hearing and now. So I'm trying to figure out kind of what's going on, like why we aren't. I did see some discussion or issues about the food issues, but it's my understanding that the food list was only given to my client on July 20th. Is that also your understanding?
It's my understanding that the foster parents have discussed with Brittany about appropriate foods for Oakland because she's having problems swallowing and stuff. The food list was provided as a reassurance for her to understand that that's, the appropriate foods for her.
Right. I mean, I was under the impression that she was supposed to get like a list of approved foods or something, but that has now been given to her and it was given July 20th. Is that your understanding?
Right.
Okay.
Hold on. You know what? I want to go to breakout room with the lawyers in Casa. Okay. Miss Simpson, because we've got a tight schedule today, y'all. Miss Simpson, if you can send us to a breakout room, please. Everybody show back up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just not liking the smell of a whole lot that's going on in this case. So I'm not going to allow any visits in the home yet until CPS, CASA, Mid-Items are happy with it. So I'm going to say visits is agreed by CPS and Mid-Items. We're going to have a special hearing about increasing visits on 9/4/24. That's a special date. And I'm going to say no one is allowed to live in the home who is not approved by CPS. Okay. And here's the deal. Miss Wilson, when Oakland has therapy, you're not to eat. You're not to fold laundry. You're not to drive. You're to be present at the meeting with the therapist, the doctor, whoever, just like you were there. I do not think the department said you could do 4 things at one time while your 1-year-old is at a doctor. That's just, they're not going to say that. So you pay full attention because your little girl has a lot of issues and a lot of issues that I'm very, very, very concerned about that are still sort of floating around out there. So you pay full attention. And when the foster family sends her with stuff to eat on these visits, that's what she eats. She has a list of stuff she eats. Now, I don't care that you just got the list. You have a lawyer, you have a telephone, you're fully capable of calling Miss Miller or calling whoever and saying, I need this food list. I'm not going to let you blame it on the department or whoever. They just gave it to you. No, if you're concerned, you're a parent, you go after it.
I have been asking for, ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have been asking for the list multiple times. I am more than willing to send you text messages and everything. My dad's asked for the list, and during the therapy sessions, the therapist told me as long as it passed the squish test that it was perfectly fine to give to her. And it says that on the list.
Well, okay, well, you got it now, so let's start working under it. And you have a service plan, you have to comply, your parental rights can be subject to termination. Y'all can increase visits as long as the items and CPS are happy with everything. We'll be back on 9/4. Okay, thank y'all. Bye. The truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. We're set for permanency, but do we have some papers to prove up today, Mr. Sturmer?
Yes, Judge, I do believe the father has signed a relinquishment, which Mr. Howard filed, I believe just here in either today or yesterday.
What about the mom? Has she signed anything, Mr. Dennis?
She has not, Your Honor. I did get a message from the department early, about a month ago, and I haven't followed up on that, so that's my fault. But I think I can get her to sign before our dismissal date and before whenever you set the final. It appears that she's wanting to do that. I just need to check with Mr. I'm sorry, her criminal attorney, Paul. Harold, there we go. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked on him. But
That's okay.
I need to check with him and make sure that he's good with her signing and that he has that conversation as well related to her criminal case.
Okay. Well, we're set for trial on August 28th, so why don't we just wait and do it all then? I don't want to do an interlocutory order for, 30 days. That seems kind of dumb. But Patrick, you did get it filed, correct?
I did. I filed it yesterday. I had another discussion with him yesterday afternoon. That was sort of the hold up, but that went well. And he's okay with doing an interlocutory or any other reason. So we can do that however the court would prefer.
Okay. My file shows it, but my docket sheet doesn't show that I've adjudicated him. Does anybody know? Mr. Sturmer,
yes, you did at the May 15th hearing.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't read my writing, believe that or not. Okay, sorry, because I'm in a hurry. Okay. Okay, good. But it sounds like Grayson, Ms. Simmons, Grayson's doing well, foster home's doing well. We're just kind of rocking along, right? Okay. Anybody need anything today? I'm glad Grayson's case is going well because the companion case is blown up. So this is good news for me today, me and Miss Mystic and everybody else on the other case.
I sent you pictures.
Oh,
like,
you did?
Oh, yes. Adorable.
He's the cutest.
Oh, yeah.
Me, Shandell, and Linda went to his house with Miss Bobby at the beginning of the month and had like a birthday party for him and gave him all the Spidey things, and he absolutely enjoyed every moment of it. So all three of us have just been totally about Mr. Grayson.
Yeah, I see his Spidey stuff. That was, and his Spidey shirt. That's super cute. What about if Mr. Dennis, Mr. Mintz, Mr. Howard get their affidavits filed? Y'all don't need to come to the next hearing if y'all can be excused. If Mr. Howard, you for sure can because you already got yours filed. Okay. And Mr. Barnhill, I did again. Mr. Dennis, just let us know what's going on in that regard.
Okay, I will. And Chuck, if you or the department can send me a relinquishment for her, we'll go try to take care of that this week or next week.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mystic, you need anything?
Nope, Judge, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say everything continue. Final trial is 8/28 via Zoom. Mom's to sign a voluntary affidavit of relinquishment. Dad's is already filed. Okay, thank you. Cute pictures. Good news. Truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Bye, y'all. This is a trial. I'm not ready to end the monitor return just yet. I want to see how we are with school starting. I don't know what's up with Mr. Bush, Mr. Sturmer. Was he served? He didn't have a lawyer. I don't know what's going on with him either.
He appeared at the adversary hearing, Judge.
And I wonder why we didn't appoint him a lawyer.
I believe you told him to submit an application for court-appointed attorney, and he never did.
Okay, let me look. I did DNA on him, even though he's previously been acknowledged. No, I don't have that on docket sheet. I did for Mom, but Miss Simpson filled it out. Let's see. Dad did not appear. Dad did not appear. Guess he just what's Miss Stafford, what's up with the DNA on him? Do we know, or anybody know?
Yes, actually we got a letter from the OAG related that he signed a document that he was actually like assuming he was a father. Also, I finally got in contact with him after all this month on Monday. Mom contacted me and he is currently in jail. He gonna
yeah, I mean, Attorney General's office, we got that. But it should say in that order that we understand he's acknowledged, but we were doing DNA anyway. But they don't really pay attention to what we say. Mr. Sturmer, he's in jail. He's made a general appearance. Are we going to assume he's a default? What do you feel the final plans in this case are?
Well, he's appeared, so
and hadn't come back.
Right. So I mean, I don't really think we can default him. He's made an appearance.
You want me to appoint him an attorney just to be on the safe side?
That would probably be the best thing to do.
Okay, Miss Chandler, you're here.
Well, I mean, unless.
Hold on.
I mean, if we're looking at possibly just dismissing this case and not entering final orders, then I don't think that it's necessary to appoint an attorney.
And there's not an order in place.
Is that the track we're on, is to dismiss eventually?
Yes. I'm hoping September.
Then, yeah, I don't think it's really necessary to appoint an attorney.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if there's if Mom needs orders, then we're going to have to, but he's in jail and she can go through AG and get orders if she needs to, I think. It's up to Jan and her, I guess, or you, Judge, of course.
Right. I mean, I'm happy just dismissing it eventually. I don't want, that's fine with me. Okay, so we're just going to leave it alone for now. When we change our mind, we can always start and recess if we have to. Okay, well, that was one of my concerns. I want my understanding that Heston's getting ready to go to school. So like I said, I want to see how that goes. We're within the dismissal date. I know he has a bunch of therapies going on. Y'all don't, if anybody's over there during the therapies, just chill out, get in the background, don't interrupt. Just let him do his therapies at home or at school or wherever it is. I know we all have 24/7 access, but it's hard to get in to see therapists or stuff like that. So just leave that alone. Mr. Bush made a general appearance on 7/19. Ms. Simpson's doing, I think there've been some things that people are a little bit concerned about, but nothing that's big enough to disrupt the monitor return. But like I said, I do want to give it a little bit more time and see how things are going. So we'll just reset the trial until 9/4. Okay.
Judge, I did receive and sent to Amanda and the report from the family therapist.
Okay.
So.
And what was it? Good? Positive?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, she goes to the house and she will continue. She's even gone to the daycare And she'll continue even though afterwards she's able to continue.
Yay, that's the best news.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had her before, I know.
And, okay, well, when she's there, everybody just chill and let's let them do the therapy. And yay. Ms. Gustafson, is your client planning on continuing on the therapy when we get out?
Yes, ma'am. She's very, very happy with the therapist and has, progressed really far with her. So her plan is to continue with her. She appreciates her support and suggestions and works well with her.
Okay, sounds good. Okie dokie. Well, Ms. Simpson, like I said, you have a service plan. You got to comply. Your parental rights can be subject to termination. We're going to monitor this a little bit more. So y'all keep doing y'all's monitoring, and I'll see everybody on 9/4. Thank you. We'll be in recess. I'll do the reset order, Ms. Turner.
Thank you. Do you think that that's a good idea? What is all this crap on the ground? Get this picked up now. Hey.
Hey, Chuck, mute.
Okay, Simraldo. Okay, let's see where the mother is. Miss Simraldo, you need to show your face. There you are.
Sorry, I was trying to get it on there.
That's okay. I see you now. Okay, this is our first permanency hearing. Kiddos are with fictive kin locally. I didn't really understand. Okay, yeah, I didn't understand about that and the Georgia deal, and I didn't understand all that in the report. So y'all have to tell me about that. I wrote down about talking to mom about UAs, about getting a release for her psychiatrist. I'm thinking we might need some sort of in-home parenting type class and marital counseling since they decided to reconcile. And those are just my last I heard that Mr. David was in Korea. Mr. Duke isn't doing anything. Anyway, that's what I got. So Mr. Sherman, you may begin.
I'd like to call Shadesha Jenkins. Ms. Jenkins, can you just address the things that the judge just brought up? I believe she mentioned in-home parenting, mom's drug testing. I think I missed a couple other things, but can you kind of just go through with what the department's doing at this point to try to alleviate some of these concerns?
Yes, sir. So the first thing would be that the children are no longer with fictive kin. They are with a foster family, the Millers. They should be on this call if I'm not mistaken. They were moved this month, last Thursday, to that placement. They are doing pretty well there. I go see them tomorrow just to check on them since they've recently moved. As far as in-home parenting, we have not established that, but she is doing parenting classes and therapy with Miss Chapman. And I haven't heard anything negative about her parenting progress. And when she was getting visits, I did see a big improvement in that aspect. She is not getting visits right now because of her drug test. She recently had a positive alcohol drug test. And since it was court ordered she not be drinking, that of course negatively affected her visits. We are waiting on her drug test to come back from next week. Her drug test from the previous week on the 18th was negative for both alcohol and drug substances. So we are 1 week down and we still have 2 more weeks to go before those visits can be reestablished. As far as their marital aspects are, they keep going back and forth on whether or not they're going to stay married or get a divorce. So they have not started any marital counseling because of that, and because Mr. David is in Korea, so that's not really a viable option right now. I think I covered everything. If I haven't, please let me know.
Yeah. Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Miss Jenkins?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Chandler.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Jenkins, you've been working really closely with Robin Smeraldo, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
About how many times would you say that you've been over to the house during this case?
I've been over once monthly, so I would say at least 3 times, possibly. I think 3 to 4 times because I went twice this month.
Okay. And has the condition of the home improved?
Yes.
Could you remind us about the home at the beginning of the case and then tell us what the home is looking like now?
So the investigator described the home as being like dog hair everywhere, feces everywhere, clothing everywhere, trash dispersed throughout the home, and described the home as being deplorable and stated that they thought that was a reason why the HVAC system caught on fire. Since then, they have moved from that home to a new home because that home was deemed unlivable. The home that they are currently in, the biggest issue that we had was a very, very strong odor of animal feces. That has not been completely taken care of, but it is definitely way better than the very first time that I went into the house. The house itself has never been deplorable since I've been looking at the house. The floors have been had a lot of brown substances. I don't know if it's mud or if it's feces or whatever the case may be, but the children's rooms and Miss Smeraldo's rooms, her room has always been acceptable, or I would say her room has been lived in. The kids' rooms were, pretty much untouched. The dining room and the kitchen, they looked lived in, but they could have been some progress, for those areas. And the living room pretty much was empty. But overall, I would say she is making progress towards making sure the house is getting clean. I do think that there is at least in my opinion, there is still a very strong odor of animal feces and animal urine that she needs to take care of. But I've discussed that with her on ways to kind of help with that.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Jenkins. The children, are they all together right now in a foster home?
Yes.
Okay. And they're doing well?
Yes, I'm going to double check on that tomorrow because, like I said, I moved them Thursday. So when I left them, they were excited and they were happy, but I will be following up tomorrow.
Okay. And are they asking to see their mom?
Every time I see them, even when they were with their fictive kin, they associate me going to see their mom.
Okay. Other than the issue with the house not being totally, completed, and Ms. Smeraldo's negative alcohol test that came back, is there anything else that Ms. Smeraldo is doing that would prevent the department from considering a monitored return?
Yes, so there is speculation, which she has confirmed, that she's been going out partying quite often. And even though she's not drinking, I still don't think that's in the children's best interest for her to be doing that. And then also her mental health is still a concern. Her therapist actually sent over this past month's therapy notes yesterday. So I don't know if everybody's had a chance to read them, but it definitely shows in there that she's struggling with her depression greatly right now. And she's sleeping a lot. And I know in the affidavit, part of the department's concern was her mental health and how it affected the oldest child's ability to go to school.
And is there anything else that the department is able to do to help Ms. Smeraldo through what she's going through right now?
I think the department is doing pretty much what they can as far as recommending therapy and trying to hold Ms. Smeraldo accountable for her actions, even though it might upset her at times. If there's any other resources that I come across that may be able to help her, I will definitely give those to her. But as of right now, I feel like we're doing the best that we can with the situation.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have. Thank you for all of your work, Ms. Jenkins. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ms. Gustafson, any questions?
Yes, I have a couple. So since Mr. David has been in Korea, has he kept in constant contact with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, has he been trying to take classes and anything that might facilitate services while he is in Korea?
To my knowledge, yes, ma'am.
There's not a whole lot he can do, but he has been researching and trying to do anything that might help with his services while there. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, his visitation, he used to see the children whenever mom had her visitation through FaceTime with the children. Is that correct?
Yes.
So now that mom's visitation has been abated, how is he seeing the children?
He actually just reached out to me I want to say the week before last, possibly, about getting permission to have visits between 3 and 5. You'll have to correct me, Mr. David, if that time frame is wrong, but I believe that's what was established. However, since the children were moving on this previous Thursday, we could not do the visit. It was just too chaotic. So he does have a visit scheduled for tomorrow. I have not reached out to him to let him know yet, but I did speak with placement about that. And he will have a visit from 4 to 5 tomorrow virtually. So they will continue with mom not being available. It just, he had to get situated in order for that to happen in the new placement as well.
Now, when you visited mom's home, did you see any evidence of someone else living there?
Not of someone else living there, but both times that I went there, there has been someone else present.
And was
or coming to the home.
Was that the same person?
Yes.
Oh, and was it a male individual?
Yes.
Was it did you get the person's name?
I asked who he was, and she said that he was a friend. She probably told me his name, but I can't recall at the top of my head. Because she did say Mr. David is aware of who he is.
So this Specialist Martinez, does that sound familiar to you at all?
Yes, ma'am, that actually does.
And at this point in time, has Mr. David expressed to you the concerns about what is going on in the home with mom while he's in Korea?
I would say not necessarily, recently, but when he first went over to Korea, I know through text message he did frequently, yes. Mostly lately, he's just been talking about his progress because that's kind of what I directed him to do.
Now, there was a home study requested to be done on a friend of Mr. David's. Is that right?
I believe that was Miss Smeraldo's friend, the first one, and then there is another one that has been requested on a distant relative, I guess is how I can explain that.
Okay, and has the home study come back on the first person?
Yes.
And was it approved?
No.
And what is the status of the second home study?
It's still pending. I just received the information probably maybe 2 weeks ago, if that. And I've sent up everything to who I need to send it to. So it's just a matter of other people putting it in the works to get it completed.
And is there some lack of information that's held it up, or?
No. Once she gave me the information, I called the person and they gave me their information. I did the checks. I sent it to who I needed to, and they sent me back the information to request for background checks from that person. I sent it to them. They sent it back, and I sent it up. So no, there's no delay in anything. It's just a process of getting it to and from different people.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Miss Misty.
No questions.
Okay, Ms. Sherman, anything else?
No, ma'am.
Any more witnesses?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Chandler, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. Is Douglas Dotson here?
Yes, I thought, yeah, he's here. Costas, he's here. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to call Douglas Dotson, please.
Okay, thank you. Go on, ma'am.
Hi,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Dotson.
Good
How are
morning.
you today?
Very well.
Have you been working with Robin Smeraldo on improving what she needs to do with her home and with her and within herself throughout this case?
Well, so yes, we've talked, text, and I did visit even in the last month.
Okay. And is the situation, in your opinion, you heard Ms. Jenkins' testimony, in your opinion, has Ms. Smeraldo's home improved since the beginning of the case?
So obviously I never visited the first home, but based on the docket, the court records of what that home was like, the home she's currently in, I go to many homes with my job, and her home is clean enough. It does have that odor when you first walk in and I believe it's probably cat urine. Cat urine's the hardest. Maybe some bleach.
Okay.
But it does have a pet odor. But once I'm in the home for a little while, it kind of doesn't bother me so much. So, and the dirt on the floor, the brown on the floor, I believe is from like the dogs go outside to use the bathroom in the back, and it's mostly dirt and mud. So when it rains, the dogs are going to track in, mud or whatever. The home is okay.
Okay. How are the children doing?
The children were moved, like we heard, last Thursday to a new placement. I saw them yesterday. They all were smiling. They all have their own rooms. The girls have their own. The Elijah, the youngest boy, has his own room. The first question, like we've already heard, is even to me is, can I see mom and dad? Are we going to see mom and dad? Because they associate me with that too, and they really want to do that. They haven't had a visit for, I believe, it's now been 4 to 5 weeks. It's been too long. They went to the doctor yesterday because there were some bug bites. The doctor says that they are chigger bites and that they're at the kind of the end stages of that. The placement was a little concerned about it, ran him to the doctor, but nothing to worry about there. I guess I'll go ahead and say this. I need the judge to order, sounds like we need the judge to order daycare to speed up that process. Other than that, I think the kids are fine. I kind of worry a little bit about saying the kids are fine because really, honestly, what the kids need is to see mom and dad. And until the thing that kids are missing is having mom and dad love them in person.
Do you think it would be in the kids' best interest for Miss Smeraldo to have a visit with the children either this week or next week with only one negative drug test result coming back so far?
Wow, I struggle with this because the kids need to see her mom. Lots of people that do alcohol. She's never tested positive for anything illegal, but she has been ordered not to drink. So, and the drinking, I'm afraid, is from going out partying.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell the court today before your testimony ends?
I think we're good. The kids are good where they're at, but yet they need to see their parents. I already said that the judge needs to order daycare if possible, and I think we're good. Dad's going to come home supposedly the end of August. I'm a little worried about the reason as soon as he comes home, though, he's with PCS in Oklahoma. So now Dad's not really any closer even when he gets home. Hope we all understand the kids are not leaving Texas. And it'd be nice if the parents are here to help them get the kids back.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Dotson. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Dotson? No? Okay. Any more witnesses, Ms. Chandler?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Gustafson, any witnesses?
I'd like to call Mr. David.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Mr. David, can you please state your full name?
Andre James David.
And at this time, can you please relate to the court? Are you planning on pursuing a divorce or trying to work out your marriage?
I'm going to try to work out my marriage. But as Mr. Dotson had said, I do have a PCS coming up. I tried to stay within the state of Texas that was non-viable by my MOS code. They were filled, so I had to take Oklahoma as Fort Sill as the closest option.
And do you have a definite date as to when you're going to return stateside?
There is a strong likelihood of the 30th of August. I am waiting on the brigade commander to sign off and approve. It's been approved everywhere else above him, so all the way up to him. And then after him, it goes to HRC, and I can start working my orders home.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Anybody have any questions, Mr. David? Mr. David, have you talked to your wife about her moving to Fort Sill? How are y'all going to do this being in 2 different places?
Your Honor, I have talked with CPS along with my wife and Douglas on this topic. It comes down to the case. The second, as CPS has brought up, there's a second placement that was pushed up from a relative. She lives in Wichita Falls. So the kids would still stay in Texas, and it's an hour away from us. So it kind of makes it easier on the whole case for visitation and everything alongside that. What the issue is that I am having right now is trying to find TRICARE approved services for both of us, because I will have to pay if I go out of state. So TRICARE would cover it if I can do it through them. It's just getting the release notes and everything sent up at that time. But like I said, it's going to take a while once I get into SIL to start getting all that process set in process and in process her as well. With that being said, I also did have my chaplain here pay for a parenting class. I did send up my certificate to CPS.
Okay. Good. What, remind me again, I can't remember if it was said earlier in the case, who's the relative in Wichita Falls and why haven't we talked about them before?
It is her brother's, I don't know what to call him, spouse, I would say, or her, because the brother is in prison. So the spouse is not, but has one daughter. And like I said, she hasn't been brought up because kind of just wiped our mind a little bit. She had a come to Jesus moment with her brother, I guess, on the phone. So I'm fine with it as long as she can pass CPS and stuff. Like I said, it's going to help everybody in the case with the kids being placed closer, but still in Texas.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
Also, Your Honor, we did get rid of 2 dogs, the puppy and the rehome for my friend. That's happened. So the dogs are back down to 2.
The dogs are back in what?
Down to the 2. So the 2 ESAs.
Okay, you know I told y'all the first time, don't be sending the dogs to the pound.
Oh, we are. They were rehomed to families.
Okay. And let's get our animals fixed.
Yes.
Neutered, spayed, whatever it is. So, okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions, Mr. David? Okay, thank you. Mr. Dodson, you anything else you need to add?
Did you say me, Honor?
Yeah. Anything else?
I think I'm fine. I'm really looking forward to seeing where we're going with this, because right now, I just hope that it all works out with the parents. That's
right.
really
Yeah.
me, but wow.
There's a lot going on. Miss Mystic.
Okay, Judge, these are my requests that mom's had 1 clean test, start visits. I mean, it's hurting the kids. Pay for daycare, please, home study on the relative that's in Wichita Falls. Start family therapy immediately upon his return between the parents. Mom, quit going out and partying. Find another avenue, church, bowling, but not the clubs or where there's alcohol. That's, that might be helpful. I get the depression and she doesn't have her kids and it's hard and she's by herself, but there's other avenues that maybe we can talk and help her with, and her lawyers obviously can give her and has been, good ideas and CASA. But I would want to start the supervised visits. I know your rule is 3, but and I do think we need to continue testing for alcohol, because it's hard to get somebody on an alcohol test because it doesn't stay long. And we got one. So I know we need to keep testing. But I looked at her therapy note. She's sharing, she's talking about what's going on. But I think the best thing is if they got housing in Oklahoma and they were an hour from the kids and they were in marriage counseling and they can see the kids regularly together until we start a monitor if we have problems. That's all I got. I sent you pictures. They're great foster home. They're happy. They love selfies, but they miss their parents.
They're very, very, very cute kids. Okay, parents, y'all have a service plan. You have to comply. Your parental rights to be subject to termination. I am going to order the department to provide child care. Miss Simraldo's visits may begin. I'm going to order a home study on the relative in Wichita Falls. I'm going to order the department to provide couples counseling, marital therapy, whatever you want to call that. And Miss Simraldo, you need to stay home and figure out what the funky smell is in your house. You need to stay home and clean your house, work in the yard, do whatever. I agree. We don't need to be out partying. I know your husband's gone, your kids are gone. But, excuse me, and you're depressed, but drinking alcohol that's a depressant, just gets down the same road. No more alcohol positive tests, or I'm going to have to regroup on a couple of things. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I also want to address
the smelling part, I also figured out that a majority of it was the couch that we had because the dogs were going to the bathroom on it. They were peeing on it. So I took it out of my house. I've even had other people come into the house and stuff, and they said that since the couch has been removed, my house smells like, I'm not going to say like 100% better because I mean, I do still have animals, but because I did remove the couch and stuff, it does smell better than it has been.
Well, you're just going to have to stay on top of it. Maybe put a sheet down on top of the couch or something, a cruddy old sheet or something that you could just throw away. So,
yeah, I was looking into getting a new one.
Yeah, I have a bunch of just cruddy Walmart throw rugs on my floor because I have my dog's going to go to. So, just try to do anything you can. You have cats also?
Yes, ma'am. One of them is my ESA, and then we have just one other one.
They have litter boxes.
Yeah, we're having issues with my ESA right now. I think she's a little bit depressed, and I still got to get her fixed too. She's finally old enough to where I can do that. I also got to get the kitten fixed now that she's also old enough to do that. So I'm going to work on getting both of them fixed.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. And, you always hear that if cats are having issues with the restroom, get them their own kitty box or something, So,
yeah, I have two of them.
Well, yeah, good. Yeah. And just keep them clean and stuff. Sometimes I hear they like them with those little tops. I don't know. Okay, y'all, our next hearing is October 16th. Y'all have cute kids, and we're only halfway in this case. So we have a long way. So y'all got a ways to go, but we're getting there. Okay. Thank y'all. Y'all excuse.
Your Honor, can I just suggest to Rob?
Oh, wait, hold on, Miss Hanley. One thing else I forgot. Apparently, there's a Miss Samraldo needs to sign a release for the psychiatric records. And I've ordered back on 3/6/24, I ordered parent sign releases upon presentment. So Miss Jenkins, you can go on, you give it to the release, she needs to sign it. Yeah, also I meant to ask, any news on Mr. Duke? Mr. Sturmer? He's Rosalie's alleged dad.
I don't have any.
Okay. Miss Samraldo, you know anything about him?
Duke is not her biological father. I just was married to him at the time that I had her.
Wait a minute, hold on. Who's her biological father?
His name is Sage. I just don't remember his last name. I did give Madeline, our first CPS worker, I did give his mom's info to her, so she had it. So I don't know if she relayed that to Miss Jenkins or not. If not, I can send her. All I have is her Facebook stuff. So,
okay. So, Mr. Shermer, did you get that Mr. Duke is presumed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's work on that. And okay. Yeah. If y'all don't have that information, department, be sure and get it from Mr. Moraldo, because that's, Mr. Duke's the alleged father. We still got to deal with that. Not alleged, presumed. Okay. Thank y'all. Y'all excuse. Oh, Miss Hanley, what did you have?
Your Honor, you just covered it.
Okay. Okay, good. If I just look back over my notes, I got it taken care of. Okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Everybody, please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
I do.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Guevara, you may begin, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would request that the court would take judicial notice of this file and also the underlying conservatorship case as well.
Oh, I will take judicial notice of all the pleadings filed in 22772. And I don't have the underlying CPS case number in front of me, but I know it. So, I know the case, so I'll take judicial notice of all the pleadings in that case also.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Please, the court, I'll call my first witness, who is Ron Manning. And you and your wife are the petitioners in this case, correct?
Correct.
And so you understand that the petitioners, that y'all have requested this court to grant you the adoption of Joshua, who is your nephew, right?
Yes.
So you understand that's the biological relationship, but after this hearing, we're going to be asking the judge to sign the decree of adoption, and that will create a legal relation that will make you dad and dad forever, right?
Correct. Yes.
So understanding that you are requesting this court to grant the adoption.
I am.
Okay. In addition to being your nephew, he was placed in your home back in November of last year, correct?
Correct.
So we're basically in August, so it's about 9 months. And so do you believe that you've had in that period of time that you've had the sufficient opportunity to bond with him as a father?
I do.
You believe it's in his best interest that he be adopted by both you and your wife today?
Yes.
And you're not requesting a name change, correct?
Correct.
Okay, he's already got the right last name, so that works out well. And are you willing to make a representation to Judge Mabray shall sign the decree of adoption and legally create this parent-child relationship that you're going to love and care for Joshua for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Okay. I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Wood.
No questions, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next witness, Mr. Gore.
Okay, we'll call Megan Shaden Madley.
Okay.
And you are joining your husband as the petitioner in this case, correct?
That's correct.
And so you understand that you all have requested this court to grant you the adoption of Joshua, who I assume is partially the head we see there, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, very good. And so you understand that as an individual, so as a mother and also as a couple, that judge signs this decree of adoption that's going to create the same legal relationship that you have with Emerson, right?
Correct.
So all the rights, responsibilities, everything that goes with raising Joshua are going to be yours and your husband's, and yours and your husband's forever, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And your husband testified that he's been in your home since November of last year. Is that your testimony as well?
Yes.
And do you believe you've just had a sufficient opportunity to bond with him as a mother during that period of time?
Absolutely.
I believe it's in his best interest that he be adopted by both you and your husband.
I do.
No name change? Agree with your husband?
Yes, I agree.
And willing to make the same representation that you're going to love and care for him for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Okay, very good. No more questions for this witness.
Thank you, Mr. Wood.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Next witness, Mr. Var.
Okay, I see Miss Benton. You're not driving, right?
No, I'm on the side of the road.
Okay, very good. Make sure you're safe.
Yes, sir.
Please state your name.
Kate Benton.
And you're with the Department of Family Protective Services, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as we participate in this hearing today, the department is Joshua's managing conservator, correct?
Correct.
The department consents to this adoption. That's in writing, filed, judge take judicial notice. But more important than just consenting to, does the department as managing conservator believe it's in his best interest that he be legally adopted in this family today?
Yes, absolutely. I've just had such an honor to get to know Joshua and Megan and Mr. Mattingly and their daughter Emerson. And Megan's a super mom. Joshua has all sorts of appointments and she does it without complaint. And they're moving to Virginia soon. And so we try to get this done so they could get there before Emerson started school, and working on getting all of his services transferred over to Virginia. He does qualify for subsidies, so that will help, but they're just great. They're bonded. There's so much love within this family, and we're just confident that they will have his best interest at heart, and he'll just grow up a happy little boy.
Very good. Thank you. And thank you for all the work that you've done for Joshua in this family. No more questions for this witness.
Thank you. Mr. Wood, any questions, Ms. Benton?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Next witness.
Okay, I'll call Lindsay Miller.
Okay.
Please state your name, even though I said it.
Lindsay Miller.
And you're with Angel Heart, correct?
Correct.
And Angel Heart is the child placing agency that licensed this home to be able to help facilitate us be here today, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And along with the department, we heard from Ms. Benton, and then child advocates we'll get to hear from in a minute. Y'all got to see this home and see how Joshua has lived in this home since November, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And so you believe it's in his best interest?
Yes, I would love to just share that Joshua is a special little guy to all of us here at Angel Heart. He was actually, just for some backstory, he was placed in one of our foster homes originally, and his case manager is here. She didn't want to miss this. And we had Joshua up at our office until he could go to daycare, and so he probably peed on all of us at some point, and we just love that little guy. And, we're sad when he left our home, but they have maintained a relationship with the foster home and have a great support system with them. And in fact, he actually came by the office earlier last week, I think. So we have gotten to see how much he has grown and just been thriving with the Mattingly family. And we are so thankful for them. And we'll be sad to not get to see him as often, but are super thankful and know that they will continue to provide a wonderful home for him.
Thank you very much. No more questions for this witness.
Thank you. Mr. Wood, any questions of Lindsay?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Well, I saw both Miss Welsh and Miss Calvert raise their hands. So do they both want to testify, or?
They both can if y'all want to.
Absolutely. see who unmutes first. Okay, Ms.
Mr. Rivera, would you mind just going ahead and having Ms. Calvert, who's the direct advocate, do that? I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Ms. Calvert, you're with CASA, correct?
Yes, I'm CASA, Sharon Calvert, and I've had the opportunity to come alongside of this family and little Joshua. They are just, I want to cry. Good tears. They're really, really good people. And they've just taken such good care of him. They've recognized milestones. They've recognized slowness in milestones and reached out to be able to have him receive the help that he needs. And I saw him last week. He's growing. He's thriving. He's the most pleasant little toddler ever. He smiles every time you see him. So I am just very, very pleased with this entire family. So thank y'all.
Thank you very much. And thank you for work CASA did as guardian ad litem for no more questions or no questions for this one.
Okay, thank you. Any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wood gets his turn.
That's right.
Okay, Mr. Wood, you've been attorney ad litem. What's going on?
Judge, these parents or the adoptive parents here didn't have the child at the start of the case. We started foster, but they got involved very soon after that. And I think, one of the best interest factors is families being involved, and long-term having a family placement is most ideal. And I think that fits the bill here, Judge, with family that stepped up and want to do what they can to help out. And I think both parents were comfortable with this placement and understand that this is what's best for the child. So I'm in agreement. It is in the best interest to have this adoption today.
Okay. That all sounds good. Megan and Ron, anything y'all would like to add before I have to do all the boring legal stuff?
I'm good.
Okay.
No, Judge, I just want to say thank you to the entire team with DFPS, CASA, everyone for helping us through this process. Everyone was great and super helpful. So.
Wonderful. Thank you. They don't get thanked enough, so I know they appreciate that too. So, well, good. Well, we're glad to do the adoption today. And, it's all like Mr. Wood said, family's always the best. So we appreciate y'all stepping up and being super mom, as I think Ms. Benton said, with appointments and everything. And y'all have a cute young daughter in the background too. So thank you to you for helping bring another little guy into the home. I know that's, difficult some of the time, but it looks like everybody's done a great job. I'm going to find I do have jurisdiction over Mr. Joshua based on prior proceedings pending in Llano County. That his birthday is born in Burnett County, Texas. I'm going to find that he is a United States citizen and a Texas resident. That makes his way easier. To find that this court has previously terminated his biological parents' parental rights, which makes him eligible for adoption. Find that y'all have, that Joshua has resided in your home for more than the 6 months that's required to go forward today. That y'all have passed all the home studies and everything with flying colors and been asked the same dumb questions over and over again, and that y'all have answered everything good and great and getting us to today. I'm going to find that Mr. Wood and Coss and the department all did a great job keeping the court informed and doing y'all's duties under the family code to protect Joshua and look out for his best interests. So y'all are released from further representation. The county attorney's office is on here today, so they're going to send me a motion to dismiss. And so the best news on that one is no more court cases, no more court hearings. Yay. We always like that. I'm going to find that it is in Joshua's best interest to keep the name that he previously has, so we don't need a name change. And that's good because he's got a cool name. And also going to order that the records be sealed. And Jennifer and Mr. Guevara, they'll work through their office because y'all need to change the social security number and get a bunch of copies of the birth certificate and, probably some certified copies of this order and everything else. And they'll help you through that process. Get a couple extra because we've been having a lot of people sometimes get just 2 or 3, but, you never know when you might need flag football or camp or, you just don't ever know. And unsealing adoption records, it takes paperwork and it doesn't just happen like that. And people get kind of pissy about it. So just go in and get a couple copies, to keep in your safe deposit box or firebox or wherever you can. And I'm sure that they've already told y'all that. So, so adoption's not sure I said it, but the adoption's granted, obviously. And I want to thank y'all for adopting through us, even though we're on Zoom today. the lawyers that do adoptions in my court know that I get a little pissy too when people that are our kids, when we got to, we had to do all the hard part, and then the parents go to Travis County, like where y'all live, or Williamson or somewhere, and then some random judge that doesn't know Joshua, doesn't know any of the background or any of the bad stuff, gets to do all the fun stuff. So we're thrilled and honored that we got to do it in my court today. And so we thank y'all, and y'all got a great family, and we just wish everybody the best of luck. So thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Have the best day.
Congratulations.
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 Jennifer, I haven't had time, been in court all morning and the rest of the afternoon. I haven't time to look at my emails, but when I do, I'll send you the order. I'll sign it and send it to you. Okay, thank you. This is a compliance hearing. I didn't get a report, Ms. Vanna, so I don't know what's going on. So you may begin, please.
Thank you, Judge. At this time, the department is going to ask the court to dismiss or terminate the participation orders. The parents have done great. Both parents, Mr. West and Miss Lydia West, have complied with their services. Our office did e-file a report, and including some certificates of completion. So we believe that the family, there's no risk of any future abuse or neglect, and we're asking the court to terminate the orders.
Okay. Well, Ms. Potts, Ms. McAnally, have any objections?
No, Your Honor. Ms. McAnally said Mom was doing good and she has no objections to the dismissal. She said she would like it, but probably can't do it if the order had something about the visits for Dad, if it included something on visits, and then and she hopes the child continues in therapy. And other than that, that is all.
Okay, well, I can't do that, so they can figure that out amongst themselves. So I figure Miss Dowdle and Miss Willis, who's not here today, y'all see her?
I see Miss Dowdle, but not Miss Willis.
Yeah.
She said she would be in shortly.
Okay. Well, I figured they're not going to have any objections. Miss Dowdle's here, so they don't need to say anything. So good luck to y'all, and we don't want to see y'all back in court. Hope everything goes well for y'all and little Blossom. Starting school and everything else, so that'll be good. Well, good luck. We'll see y'all later, or won't see y'all later. Hopefully, everybody's excused and released. Thank you.
I will submit an order later today.
Great, thank you, God. Okay, there's a status hearing. The kiddos are with fictive kin in the Brown County area. I don't know what I think about that. There's an outstanding child care bill that is not good. There's not any gates, safety gates and stuff at the home where the kids are. I have that Mom is doing okay, and Dad, I think Dad needs to step up. So, Ms. Vanna, that's what I have today. You may begin.
Thank you, Judge. So Mom has started her services. We recently, just an update, she did obtain a job. Ms. Martin will verify that. Dad has reached out to his service providers as of yesterday, and so he's on the ball. According to Ms. Martin, visits between the children and the parents are going well, and we hope that they stay on the right track and continue visiting. Hopefully we can increase some of those. Regarding the bill for daycare, Ms. Martin, if I am correct, that has been taken care of. You've been in touch with the provider, so there shouldn't be any issues. And if there are, you ask the daycare to contact you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was as of a few days ago. Is that correct?
Last week.
Okay. Let me see here. It looks like there's some issues with drug testing for Dad, not that he's not going or doesn't want to go, but the facility that they had out there near Brownwood is no longer contracted with the department. Yes. So Mr. Boyd actually drove to Abilene to take a drug test. And so that's about an hour and 20-minute drive one way. So we're waiting on those results that happened this week. And so I don't know, but if anyone has any objection to this, I was thinking that maybe to do monthly hair strand tests for Dad, if that's something we can do instead of those weekly drug tests where he would have to drive. to Abilene for drug testing on a weekly basis. The department has looked into different medical clinics to drug test as well, and some of them won't do it, or they won't hair strand test, or there's always some sort of issue.
Where does he live, Miss Anna?
Mr. Boyd, I believe he lives, is it in Comanche or Cherokee?
I live in Comanche, but I work in Brownwood. There's an urgent care facility that does do drug testing in Brownwood. I think Victoria's trying to get that okay because I don't think it's on their list. That's why I went to the first time to try, and they hadn't gotten my paperwork or any of that yet. So I had to go out to Abilene and take care of that the other day.
Right. And Mrs. Martin, can you explain about what happens with the clinic?
They are no longer contracting with us. That it was the early clinic was on our list. When I talked to the early clinic, they said they were sending everybody to the Hendricks early. They said they were sending everybody to the Hendricks urgent care, and they sent everything, paperwork and such over. Mr. Boyd went over there, and they said no, they can't accept that. They need their own paperwork with their own name and not the early clinic, but the early urgent care clinic. So they no longer contract with us though.
Well, do they contract with the community-based care place to engage?
That I don't know. I can find that out.
I mean, I'm just texted one of my lawyers and asked them where they do their their drug testing in Brownwood.
Okay. So we need to figure out the drug testing for Mr. Boyd and the ETG testing. And I think a lot of his other services are going to be virtual, including his therapy. We're asking the court to make the service plans in order of the court today. And I believe, let me see here. And to keep the placement as is, it's my understanding that they're working and they want to become licensed to foster.
Texas Hendricks Clinic.
So they are using the urgent care facility, I'm guessing.
I spoke to the Hendricks clinic, and they told me they're sending everybody to the Hendricks urgent care now.
What a stupid thing. Why don't y'all call To Engage, who has Brown County, and ask them who they're using and see what they say, because I mean that's ridiculous. I mean, they got a big caseload up there, so they got to have somewhere.
Okay, it's To Engage.
The letter 2 NGAGE.
Okay, being creative on me. Okay.
Yeah, and doesn't mean it's a great idea or anything else, but you know what I mean.
So, I think that's all that the department has at this time.
Okay. Is Mom still at Open Door? I couldn't really tell.
Yes.
Yeah, I am on my way back.
Judge, she was at a visit this morning, and so she, Paula, and I think it's Paula that's with her. She's headed back from her. Yeah, there she is. So they're headed back, but they were able to get back into a zone where they could appear on Zoom for the hearing.
Okay, but no, she's there, like living there, doing Paula's deal, all that stuff, right?
Yes, ma'am. And taking her drug test at Paula's, and she did just get a job, and that's something I needed to ask you about.
Okay. Okay. Anybody need Miss Martin?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. Martin, can you tell me whether or not you've been in touch with a courtesy worker in Brown County or in Comanche?
I have.
And have they been out to Mr. Boyd's residence?
She is going out. I haven't gotten a report from her that she has gone out yet.
Okay,
she's gone out.
So you haven't. Would you contact her, because it's my understanding she did go out, checked out the residence, had no concerns.
Okay. Yeah, she hasn't gotten back to me on that, but I'll get with her.
Okay. And as far as, have you asked Mr. Boyd to take a drug test that he refused at any point?
No, ma'am. It's not refused at all.
Okay. And so why aren't the children placed with Mr. Boyd?
I'm sorry.
Many reasons.
Well, I know there's a protective order in place, and I know that there was an alcohol issue in December of 23. And I know that, but my understanding is he works for, I mean, Judge, you want me to talk to you, or you want me to ask? I don't know how you want me to handle this.
You can just talk.
Well, my understanding is that he works for Brookshire's and as the assistant produce manager, that he got a second job, that his house is suitable, that he just took a hair strand test. And if it's clean for everything, it seems to me there's no reason these children shouldn't be at home. I mean, this couple together obviously did not do well together. And there's a protective order that got entered by agreement in December of 23, based on basically what it seems to me is just both parties drinking in a drunk fight. Not that I'm justifying that or you know, saying that that's an okay thing, but and I understand my client has a DWI. But if he tells me that he hasn't had a drink or hasn't been doing drugs since December of 23, and if in fact that's the case,
no, I have drank.
Mr. Boyd, we're not talking to you right now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So he hasn't done drugs, and if there's, I mean, if the court has a, you know, if the hair test comes back negative, I'm just asking that the court consider allowing placement with Mr. Boyd, because it doesn't seem that, obviously the parents are always preferred. And if there's no other, if alcohol is the only issue and we have a control on that, then it seems there should be no reason the kids couldn't be placed with Mr. Boyd.
If I remember correctly, there was an FBSS case that was just going on pretty soon before this removal. Lots of history of family violence, just a lot of issues that the parents need to work on together.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And I didn't get real glowing things from the report that he's, I just said he needs to step up. So I'm not ready to
my understanding is, and I can ask Ms. Martin if there's anything that she's requested him to do that he's not yet done, or is there anything lacking that he should have done at this point that he's not yet done?
He's done everything requested of him. He shows up for the visits. He's on all the video visits. I understand there was one time he ended a video visit at 9 minutes instead of 15 minutes. But he has been there.
Okay. So why would the court think that he's not in compliance?
Well, Ms. Martin, has he started any services or engaged in any services yet?
We have not started the therapy yet. We haven't gotten the drug test results back yet. It's just the visits he's done. So I would really like to see him go to therapy before and decisions being made.
I understand. So the reason that therapy hasn't started, is that his fault?
No, that's not his fault.
Okay. So he's doing everything you've asked of him.
Yes.
Thank you.
Part of the reason is probably because he lives in Brownwood, and good luck getting anything to happen in Brownwood.
I know.
Because the two engaged and just everything else. One of my other lawyers up there sent me another place, One Source Health Center in Early. That's where he says they're drug testing.
Okay.
One Source Health Center in Early, Texas. So we got two options. Hopefully one out of two would work.
Okay, we'll look into those, Judge.
Okay.
May I speak for a minute? One source that you're talking about is the Hendricks and Early that Victoria was just talking about, and they're sending people to the Hendricks in Brownwood that does do drug testing.
Would be nice if they had the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just want to confuse you. Stupid. No surprise up there. No surprise. Okay, thank you. Costa, anything y'all would like to add?
Nothing more than what was already in the report, Your Honor, other than just to let you know the kids are doing well. And there's just those issues that we were concerned about.
Okay. Have y'all talked to the placement, walking around in nasty diapers and safety gates and all that stuff?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was the question?
Have y'all talked to the placement about the kids walking around in nasty diapers and safety gates and all that stuff?
Yes, the advocate, Regina Baker, who was trying to get in and was having troubles. But she did talk to placement about that. And placement at the time had said, that they were busy and they had a hurry warning. But the thing about the gates is that I had seen it when I went on my visit a month earlier. So that the gate situation with the steps is consistent. There she is.
You're getting busy. It didn't take a month to figure that out.
Yeah.
Judge, I had some issues as well too, and I have some additional issues.
Okay. What's that, Ms. Potts?
Okay. So I know that Ms. Welch had bought safety gates for the parents, and so they were also not up on the stairs when I was there. They were off to the side and the kids were going up and down the stairs. The little girl, Percy, had a lot of bruises on her legs. We did get a report today that the little boy had what appeared to be some bruising on his eye from rubbing his eye, but it came from the daycare and the HST because he has allergies. But I wanted to remind everyone that this is not fictive kin. They had never met the children, that the court ordered that we send in a CPU request. It's a very young couple. They're in their early 20s. They have another child. That other child is doing some pushing and shoving and hitting over the toys and different things that are going on. I think it's more than what they can handle. The little boy is diagnosed with autism from his psychological. The little girl has some other issues, emotional issues. And I don't think that this young couple who has had absolutely no training and isn't even fictive kin, I don't think that they have the ability or the resources to take care of these kids. And it is very concerning. So that being said, I know that Victoria has been working hard. She put in a CPU request. Home study has not yet been done. So I'm just very concerned about the safety of the children. On a side note, I think they still need their shot records. And they're saying that the little boy may need leg braces because he is developmentally delayed and hasn't been walking, but I need the medical records to show us what that is. And I know Miss Martin has been working hard to get those and got us the psychologicals earlier this week. But I'm very worried about the children. I'm concerned about their safety. I usually don't have issues with any of these homes. But there's just a lot of moving factors, a lot of things going on here. And I did mention the gates as well. I got pushback on that. I did mention and took pictures. There were a lot of bottles of shampoo and deodorant and a whole bunch of different stuff just laying on the floor in the bathroom where the little boy could reach those. And with autism, that's a possibility. So, it's just overall a couple who's really sweet and they're trying very hard and they've stepped up for this family, but I just don't feel like it is safe.
And with mom being low here, dad in Brownwood, nobody has any other family.
As far as I know, we haven't located any. I don't know, Miss Welch, if Mr. Fowler has been able to do some searches.
Yeah, we did do the search. I can share it with everyone, but usually there hasn't been anything that has been real positive in terms of people we can contact without a background of some kind.
Have we done home studies on anybody?
No, Your Honor. We need a home study on the home that they're currently in at a minimum.
The home study.
Somebody can't. Somebody's cutting out.
Ms. Martin, I think she froze.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. The home study paperwork's been turned in, so that is in the process. And I did talk to Baylor Scott and White this morning, and they are printing up the medical records, and I'm going to go pick them up myself so they don't get lost in faxing. So I'm picking those up tomorrow morning.
And Ms. Martin, so did you receive those pictures from Ms. Potts that she was just speaking of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And were there bruises on the little girl's legs?
There are bruises, but Percy is a rough and tumble girl. She loves to play, and she hits that play gym running. And my kids would have the same bruises at that age. I just attribute it to that age.
Okay. And did you find anything about the photos of the home to be a reason to remove these children from the home?
I don't. I would like to see a home study come in before we talk about that. I did talk to placement about the shampoo and the chemicals and such. They're going to lock everything up in a cabinet above the washer dryer, and it's out of reach, but they're also going to put child locks on it. When I was at the house, the child gates were on. The kids were clean. I never saw, a dirty diaper, and the house was clean. It was an announced visit, but the house, it was clean when I went.
Okay. And in the photos that you saw, were there any feces or anything, or was it just really cluttered with things on the floor and toys around?
It was just, to me, it was just cluttered. It's a house that's lived in.
Okay. But you do agree that there were shampoo bottles on the floor and in the bathtub and the bathroom and things like that?
Yes, ma'am. And we addressed that.
Okay. And is the department looking, do you believe that it is a suitable placement at this time?
The department feels it is.
Okay. Do the children appear happy there?
Yes.
Yes, are they being taken to all of their medical appointments and any appointments that the department requests?
Yes, they have gone to all appointments.
Do you have any concern about the way the children interact with the biological child of this family?
Not that I saw, no.
Okay. So you didn't observe any of those behaviors?
No, I didn't observe it in person, and I haven't seen it on the video visits either.
Okay. How old is the biological child of the placement?
I want to say he's 5 or 6. I know he's around Percy's age.
5. So he's around. Okay. And was he an older child before these two kiddos got there?
Yes.
Okay. And have you talked to them about, redirection and about the hitting and fighting over toys?
I had not heard about it until just recently, so I have not had a chance to talk to them about it. They've never mentioned it to me, and the first time I heard about it was from Ms. Potts.
Okay. And will you discuss that with them?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Nothing further.
Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Martin?
Judge, I just have a couple follow-up.
Okay.
Ms. Martin, do you see any reason, and this may be happening and I might just not be aware, but any reason that the placement can't supervise my client for visits and sort of expand those?
There is no reason they can't. It's just time. I believe that they can. I believe they're capable of it.
So would you have an objection if he and the placement could work out additional time for him to spend with the children, based on he and the placement schedule? And of course, I know that the CASA and the ad litem would need to weigh in, but would you have an objection?
No.
Okay, thank you. Pass the witness.
Somebody else had their hand raised. Ms. McClure?
Yes, Victoria, what about expanding mom's visitation?
The same. We would have no problem. In fact, I was asking Mom earlier about people that could supervise. So I'm looking into that right now.
So as far as you're concerned, if she can get people that can pass y'all's muster, y'all would be good with giving Mom more visits as well.
Yes.
And are you aware of Mom having provided personal effects for the placement?
Yes. She has provided personal effects. In fact, I was told she had brought diapers to the visit so they've got plenty of diapers now.
Okay. That's all I have, Judge.
Okay. Anybody else? Ms. Martin, a lot of orders from the last hearing. Let me just go over them real quick. Did the parents submit to the OSAR and follow the recommendations before the FGC?
Mom has. Mom's in IOP. She goes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Dad's OSAR is being scheduled.
Okay. Visits are still separated, right?
Yes.
Okay. And nobody showed up under the influence of alcohol or anything, right?
No, ma'am. Everybody's shown up sober.
Y'all providing childcare? Who's providing childcare?
We are now.
Okay.
It's being paid for.
Did they hair strand as I directed?
The Mr. Boyd just took his hair strand. Miss Reed did take her hair strand. We have not gotten the results back from AMDT, and I've got a call and emails into them asking them why we haven't gotten it. I haven't gotten back from them yet.
Well, they were both supposed to hair strand by June 14th.
She did.
Yes, she did.
And don't have the results?
No, ma'am.
And why didn't he do it by June 14th?
We didn't have a place for him to do it, but he has done it now.
Okay. Placement, y'all got placement worked out. Miss Martin, hold on, we'll go back to you. Miss Potts says Mr. Boyd paid child support.
No, Your Honor, I haven't seen any child support. I did want to mention on the visits that Dad's Zoom visit is right after Mom's, and the children are really very distracted. So if we could separate those out time-wise, because they can't sit there for that full time for Mom and then for Dad.
I think we ought to just do them on a separate day. That's a lot to make little kids try to Zoom.
That would be good.
Let's
be
separate those out.
And I don't oppose additional visits. I think that would be good. The kids like seeing their parents. They do well in the visits, so I think that would be good.
Okay. What Ms.
The client has the support. He just was confused about where to send it. So I can have him send it directly to Miss Potts, or I can have it go through me, whichever Miss Potts prefers.
Miss Potts, and then it'll go to placement.
Yes, ma'am. I just recently got the address and info to send that to her.
Okay, good. Yeah. Because let's see. Yeah, you got 2 months. Yeah, June and July. Okay.
And I've been asking for it. I just didn't have the address to send the money order to.
Okay.
And if you could, Ms. Dowell, ask that be in the form of a money order or a gift card or something, so that I don't have to go through the whole trust fund thing, and that takes additional time. Just make it payable to placement, like a money order payable to placement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. Personal effects, we heard about that. Parents Zoom 2 times per week. Y'all do that, but let's switch y'all. Ad litem, CPS, let's talk to placement. Let's change the day so we don't have to lump it all together. That's court-appointed attorney applications. Got them both. That's good. 2 separate FGCs. I guess y'all did that. Okay, everything else. Okay.
Judge,
So I'm gonna say,
I had a request. I know the parents are supposed to Zoom 2 times a week, but if we expand their in-person visits, could we, if the ad litem's agree, could we take away like a virtual visit if they're expanding the in-person visits?
That's fine.
Just so that we can make sure it's not too much for the placement and the kids to sit still.
Because it sounds like they could be doing something every day. You know, we got visit for mom, visit for dad, 2 and 2. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll just keep visits and placement and Zoom as agreed by everybody. Yeah. Yeah, because if y'all are getting more time, that's better than stupid Zoom calls anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good. Okay, everybody get out pens. I have our scheduling order unless we change placement, do monitor return or anything like that earlier. Our first permanency hearing is, October 29th. Our second one is January 21st. Our final trial, if we get that far, is 4/29, and our dismissal date is 6/9/25. I'll approve the service plans and make an order of the court. And parents, y'all obviously have service plans. Y'all are already working on them or know what you need to do to start working on them. You have to comply with your service plan or your parental rights could be subject to termination. Okay? Ms. McClure?
I just want to clarify, mom was not ordered to pay monetary child support last time, and she is providing effects. And is that still okay with everyone for her to continue to do it that way?
As long as she does it as agreed, as ordered by or requested by CPS placement and or the ad litems, yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay. Okay, well, good luck to everybody. We'll see y'all on October 29th. And y'all agree that, again, that I can't talk, all the hearings can be held via Zoom, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Okay. Or you get to come to Burn it, whichever one you want. So, okay. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, can you send me your docket sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
It doesn't
you.
say retreat, that's what I will, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is a hearing about not fair that the Harvey placement isn't getting funding because the department is slow on setting up some stupid administrative hearing. So what did y'all find out?
I can speak to all of those things. So we are waiting on a SOA hearing, which is a state office administrative review hearing for the RTB on Mr. Torres from back in 2017. And I have spoke with the FAD worker, the person who is licensing that Torres family for adoption. And she said that this is not uncommon, that these hearings usually take 13 to 14 months to get assigned.
Well, that's just freaking stupid.
I totally agree.
I'm not going to have, that's absolutely ridiculous.
But
And you know, to me, it's just another way to screw people out of money.
this is month 12. So they applied for this last July. So we should be getting a hearing soon. I check almost every other week with the legal assistant, and she promises me she'll let me know when it gets set, but it has not been set yet. And so I did ask her just for clarification, after this hearing, what happens then? Like if this RTB is upheld, does that stop the process? Or if it's overturned, like what are we looking at? So she said that even if the RTB is substantiated by the state office review hearing, that does not eliminate them from adoption. They will just have to make a very specific, she said it's a conditional license where they can adopt the Harvey kids. So either way, they should still be able to adopt, but this hearing has to occur for us to be able to license them for adoption at all. And she said once this hearing does occur, she will immediately submit her risk assessment. There has to be one for the RTB, and there also has to be one for the criminal history. And so she said as soon as that hearing is done, she'll submit them, and we should get that license and be ready to move forward. So I'm hoping in the next 2 months, hopefully we're making some kind of progress, but it's very stagnant because of this hearing. As far as kinship funding and support for the family, they have received all of the kinship funds, and there's only so much per case. I think the total was they received $6,200 in kinship funding. That stopped in March because just the money ran out for this particular case. So since then, we have requested a care grant assistance. Each kid got $50. Superior Health is helping out with the kids and giving them stuff. We've given clothes, backpack, shampoo, shoes, games, toys. They were referred to the Vault Fostering Agency. They're providing bunk beds, bedding, clothing, shoes, back to school items. They were also referred to the Operation School Bell and Toys for Tots. They've gotten clothes, pajamas, books, personal items, lots of community resources helping out as well. They've been given food like meats, canned goods, dry goods, snacks from the children. They also received a free meal, summer meals through the school district, and they're going to be doing the back to school events. And we signed them up for hair-a-thon so they can all get their hair done before school starts. And I have made requests through Fostering Angels to also help out with food or clothes or whatever additional items they need. So we are doing everything we can to support them in the meantime. It's just I kind of feel like our hands are tied behind our back while we're waiting for this state office hearing.
When they got kinship funds, how much was that?
So she said kinship funding started October 20th of 2021 and it ended March of 2024. And the total was $6,221.81.
Yeah, no, how much was it a month?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the breakdown per month. I'm not really sure how they do that in kinship. I think it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a certain amount per kid. I can ask.
Melissa can tell us, Judge. I bet Ms. Torres can tell us, I'm sure.
Okay.
And then post-adoption.
Anybody know Connie Odenball? Anybody know her?
Your Honor, she is the placement on the privacy case.
Okay. Okay. We'll just do her name. Ms. Torres, how much did y'all get each month on a monthly basis?
It was approximately $1,100 a month for all three of them.
Okay. Did y'all hear all the stuff Ms. Benton said that y'all are getting?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, it's been a lot of footwork this summer, reaching out to the different community agencies and going to the different drives and fairs, but it has all proven to be extremely helpful. So we're appreciative for those services.
Well, but you know what? Y'all shouldn't have to do that. You know, y'all are placement. Y'all aren't placement. Y'all aren't costing the state a dime. You know, if there was like a foster home or something, they'd be paying a lot of money to a foster home. Who's y'all? Y'all have an agency helping y'all?
No, we're going directly through the FAD department with the CPS.
Okay, well, let me ask a question. And I don't know the answer to this because I just hear stuff. And Tori, just don't pay attention to this. I thought y'all didn't have FAD anymore, Miss Benton.
It's Region 8, and so I don't really know what's going on down there. We do have a FAD department down there because they have a FAD worker. We did try Texas Foster Care, and they would not license because of the RTB. And we also tried Divinity, and they would not license either. So they told us, because of all of the liability within the last few years, that FAD is the only way to get them licensed.
Miss Lang, what about Angel Heart?
I have not reached out to Angel Heart, Judge.
I did, Your Honor.
You did?
I did, Your Honor, and they don't go down to San Antonio.
They don't. What about like some of those agent CPAs that Miss Hyde represents?
We had several staffings with some of the agencies, the CPAs, and they just said due to all the liability lately that they will not touch a case that has an RTB. They will immediately tell us to go through FAD. They just don't want to have the liability of licensing a home with an RTB. They won't.
Okay, so say you're in Region 7 and you don't have a FAD. What do you do then?
I honestly don't know. This is kind of the first time I've come across this case. There's been a lot of talks, given PMC, but I feel like this family deserves adoption subsidy. So that's why we're continuing to try to be patient and wait for this hearing. But I've been told by several people this is our only avenue to get them licensed, and it's only because of this RTB.
What, remind me, Miss Lang or Torres, what was the RTB for?
It was an allegation that happened whenever their oldest son Jesse was little, and mom had some kind of a skin thing and took him to the doctor, and before you know it, the doctor gets called and they come in and they start accusing dad of physically abusing him. And that was many, many years ago, young parents, and didn't communicate real clearly. Melissa, chime in, fill any other blanks. I see Philip in the background.
It was a very, very unique situation. They removed Jesse from my custody that night because I had no explanation for what to this day, that's the hill I'm going to die on. It was a skin rash. However, they brought in a police officer. The officer told me that it was called petechiae, which occurs when somebody is being choked out. And I didn't know what to say to that. I didn't know what to say. So they took him and they kept telling me that I needed an explanation. I needed a story. And as soon as I give them a story, they would give me my son back. So I very naively and ignorantly came up with the story. I gave them the story. They gave me my son. I was content until my other 3 children came into the picture.
What was the story you gave them?
What I told them was that Jesse stayed home from school or from daycare because he was at daycare at the time. And he works overnight. Even back then, he always worked overnight. And Jesse was being rocked to sleep. And he fell asleep and he woke up because he felt Jesse falling. So I told him to say that he went like this to catch Jesse and unintentionally got him on the side of the face. And, that was the story that I came up with, and I never should have did that. But back then all they were telling me was that if I didn't give them a story, they weren't going to give me my son.
Okay. And so I don't know. Was it found reason to believe or unable to determine, or what was it?
TB.
RCB. Okay. Any criminal charges filed?
No.
Okay. And I've met Jesse, but how old is he now?
10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We want permanency for these kids, all kids, blah, 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 blah. But you got this bureaucratic, stupid branch over here that takes forever, disregarding our timelines and everything else that we have to do. Okay. I thought, Miss Lang, you were on a case in Burnett. People spoke Spanish. They were older kids. They were placed somewhere, and I ordered the department to provide kinship funds.
You did, and I'd have to get my log judge to prompt my memory for the name, but you did that. And actually you went backwards. You had it retroactive to date certain.
Yeah.
And Agata's on, she can't remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say Miss Fan is on here. Miss Fan, do you remember that one?
I do. I'm trying to think of the name.
Or Casa, y'all remember that one? Older kids, dad spoke Spanish. I don't remember how close the case. I think all the kids went home.
The kids went home, but the case wouldn't be dismissed. It was a monitored return. The kids, we wanted to end the monitored return early. The court would not do that until the funds were paid.
Right.
So I'm looking.
So Miss Torres, did you get money in March?
Yes, ma'am. It was the last payment that they had told me we would be receiving.
And tell me again, Miss Benton, now that I calmed down, when did they say they're going to tell you 2 more months?
Yes, ma'am. She said it's common for these hearings to take 13 to 14 months to get set, and we're on month number 12.
It's going to take longer. Sorry, I won't talk anymore.
Yeah, no, Miss Van has experience with these things.
Is it Morales Gutierrez?
Well, it was a Hispanic name.
Yeah, no, that one's jumping off my list at me, Judge. I'm like,
I don't mean to be mean, but
profiling.
I mean, because I know I had an interpreter for the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember having 2 names, because I thought he was dad of all the kids, but that doesn't mean anything. They were teenager. I think they were all pretty older.
Oh, it was the land, wasn't it? I met with them down. They were in Marble Falls. They sure were.
I think they were in Granite Shoals.
I went to their mobile home, and they went, yes, to a friend of the family's mobile home. Oh, what was their name? Gonzalez?
I thought it
No.
was a grandma or somebody they were at.
Well,
Becky, wasn't Caballero, was it?
yeah, Caballero.
Yes.
Right. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
That's
it was.
it. That's exactly what you did, Judge. Yeah, the kids actually start off in San Antonio with a sister or whatever, a brother and a sister, aunt and uncle, and then they brought him back up here to Marble Falls, and yeah, they actually went home with mom. So, yep.
That was it. Okay. Okay. You know, they just make me mad. This is just ridiculous. And I don't really care what they say. I'm going to order kinship to provide $500 per month from April 1st, 24 forward to the placement. I mean, I've done it before. I'm going to do it again. Just not right. We're here to help. Thanks for taking these kids. I mean, that's half of what y'all were getting before. But hey, if we can get $500, we can get $500. That'll pay a lot.
Yes, and we would definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Judge.
And it's not fair that y'all have to be the ones to go out and find this and find that. I mean, not like y'all don't have enough keeping up with those. Those kids are busy. I mean, you know, I've met them before, and y'all are busy, and you know everything else. So yeah. So okay, well let's try that. Miss Lang, we're set for our next placement hearing on 10/9. So let's keep up with that. And Mr. and Miss Torres, y'all let Miss Lang, let Casa know y'all are getting that. And if not, Miss Lang, maybe we need to subpoena some people to come to court on 10/9.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say, kids having better luck getting a hold of the people at the at Health and Human Services than I am. I call about every other week, and I'm not getting return phone calls from Jennifer Killabardia or Helen Michael. So Kate, call me.
Kate, write that down. I mean, that's another reason I'm pissed, because it's just not right.
Yep.
And you know, I don't blame the state for delay. That's less money we have to pay out. But I don't care about the stupid money. I care about the kids and this family. You know, I mean, if these folks, I mean, they work their butts off. I know they do. I've met them before. I know they do. I mean, if they, you know, they could just say, punt, we're done. We don't need, we can't afford these 3 kids. Then where are we going? We're going to be spending more than $500 a month. And we're going to be screwing up a bunch of kids in the meantime. And that's not right. So, Rob, if they tell y'all to de novo, we'll need to have a little, I mean, whatever, because sometimes they do that, but that's not right either.
Yeah, well, I imagine their regional can handle that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Now, Judge, did you say dating back from April?
I sure did. April 1st.
So an April payment and then made and so forth. Okay.
Forward, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Lang, anything else?
I'm going to go see him on Tuesday. I can't wait. And then I sent you pictures, everybody, of their vacation they took down to the beach. So that was fun.
You did? Where'd you send those pictures?
It's on the email. You've been busy, Judge. You'll get it.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying, because all day I've been getting text pictures of my other county, but I haven't got them. Okay. Well, tell the kiddos I said hi again. And your oldest son, and y'all still same place, same house, everything's good?
Yes, ma'am. Everything's going good. The kids are going back to school August the 19th. So we're going to have a 5th grader, a 2nd grader. Luna will begin kindergarten, and Karina is going to begin her final year of pre-K.
And are you going back to school? Are you teaching still?
Yes, I actually went back this week. So I'm already back, and I'm already tired.
Well, because you got all those kids at home. I got it. And it's just horrible that y'all have to go back so soon. I just don't get it. Don't get it. Well, okay. Well, tell them I said hi, and we wish everybody luck, and just y'all keep up with Miss Lang and Casa and let us know what's going on, okay?
Will do.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, thank y'all. Okay, I have 2 price cases next. Mr. Robert, we're going to do another price. We're going to do the companion case to yours right now, so just hang on. Mr. Conley, there's Mr. Jeffries, Mr. Davis here. Miss Lang, are you here? Yes. Okay, what time is it? Who's doing Dennis's case? Are you doing that, Mr. Wilson?
I
here
thought
comes
Mr. Rogers might be here for this, but I'll certainly handle it. Sounds like it's just a straightforward, oh, there he is now. Speak of the devil,
Yeah.
and he logs in.
Okay. Just so I know what's going on in the other price case, anything?
Let me refresh my memory on that, Judge. I don't think a lot.
Miss McClure, do you know anything?
I believe Mom may have oh, there's Marcus. He can talk about Mom.
I think Mom was incarcerated in Houston. I had asked if they could drug test her there, but I don't know if that happened.
Incarcerated? Wow.
I think she might be going to Safe P, maybe is what I'm hearing.
There have been so many emails with the protective order, with the final order, blah, blah, blah. Where are we now, y'all? Do we have orders agreed to yet?
My understanding, I looked at it. I know Ms. Lang had looked at it. There were a few corrections to addresses that were made. And I think most of the parties have signed off on both by now. I know I had as of this morning. I'm not sure. Becky, maybe do you know who hasn't?
I don't, I just know Jamie should have received the DocuSign from Nick's team today. I didn't get it back, but hopefully it showed up in theirs. I'd already signed my version yesterday. So we are signed off, whether actually or intentionally, on our side.
Same here.
Mr. Conley, did y'all sign off?
We did, Judge, but I'm not sure if I received a DocuSign. I think we made a couple edits to the form of the protective order that Janie, my associate, sent back just about the effective period and the end date. And then we sent that to the group chain this morning, but I know there are so many people involved. We might have different copies that aren't conformed to one another, but I think we're all in agreement as to the substance of the two orders.
Agreed. And Judge, the one that we circulated was the June 2025. The end date was the last edit we made. Sorry, Mr. Davis, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. On the SAPSR order that we had for termination, we've just now submitted that. I can give you an envelope number if that helps. It's got the signature pages that we had. We may have been missing some others. I don't know that, Dwayne, I don't know that I had yours or Miss McClure's or Jamie's, but I think those were the only ones. The only changes that were made was I corrected Abigail's digits on an address. Instead of 703 or 403, I changed it. And then I added a signature line for CASA. That was it.
Okay.
I incorporate all of Becky's changes, and those were the only ones I really received, Judge.
And that was the one that I signed off on this morning. I just don't know, because those were the exact changes I discussed with Terry Gonzalez. I don't know, again, if we submitted it as a DocuSign or not, but we sent it somehow.
Okay. Here's what I want to do, because I don't want to have to go back and figure out which email has the correct one on, blah, 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 because I'll screw it up. I'll get the wrong one. Mr. Whiters, I want y'all's office to print off the final protective order and the final order. And let me look at it, because I'm not going to sign. I mean, just in case, because I have this magic pen and I don't do stuff on I'm not smart enough to make corrections on DocuSign, or I don't even know if you can make corrections on DocuSign, because that's not what I use to sign off on stuff on.
We will take care of it.
Okay. Everybody, lawyers, y'all good with that?
Yes, Judge.
That works.
And I don't want to have to do nonce or anything. God, I don't want to have to do that. So, okay. Well, then I'm going to say we're good.
You may want to get Ms. Parker to talk about whether she agrees, because they have been sent to her. She's a little harder to get a hold of, Judge.
And that was when I left off, Judge. I had not received Billy Parker's signature. Sorry about that.
Okay. Ms. Parker, you need to unmute yourself. Did you see the order? You're muted.
There you go.
How about that?
You're good.
Okay. Well, I got it at 3:00 yesterday afternoon after I called Mr. Rogers' office. I think Terry sent it to me.
I sent it to you twice, Ms. Parker.
Pardon me?
I sent it to you twice. I sent it to you on
It was the wrong email address. New phone, new email, and it's been just kicking me. I'm not very sad.
I thought the clerk corrected the email address.
Yes.
It's the most recent one I had.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to sign it, so we're good.
I think CASA had her hand up too, Judge.
just gonna sign.
I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that Kaylee Williman is no longer working for CASA, but I see Andrea Welch is on here.
Okay. Well, you know what? Hopefully we won't get anybody else's email on this case. Hopefully. So, okay, well, get it to me and I'll put it in my pile of stuff to sign.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll try to put it on the top of my pile, or I might just need a break. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Well, thank y'all for working everything out again. I know, I hope you Houston people have recovered from Cheryl. My daughter's name is Meryl, so I could say that barrel word pretty well. And Mr. Davis, I hope everything in your family is looking better than it had been. And
I appreciate that.
It's been a pretty cruddy year for health things, for lots of good friends and family, for lots of people. I don't know what is up with this year, but when somebody asked me yesterday, when is the criminal case set? I thought it said August.
26th of August.
26th. Okay. Didn't know.
And
So-
Sunny is going to be the DA because there's the new DA, Mr. Phillips, is on his way. He's sick, I think.
Well,
I don't know. I just heard about that yesterday.
Turnover, so I got it. Yeah. So, okay, well, everybody, good
But
luck
the
to
story's
everybody.
the same.
The one thing I'd request, just to make sure, Mr. Davis, could you send us all the signature pages that you have to Terry Gonzalez, and then we'll marry everything up, just make sure it all syncs.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
On both documents, right? Did y'all
Yes.
sign on the protective order, or was it just the language y'all were working on?
I think we signed off on both, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, on both. Okay, well, thank y'all again. Go on to your other cases. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Everybody on the other price case, y'all stay here.
Statements closed. On the other price, is there two price? Protective order, maybe? Let me mute myself.
Are we doing, you said we're not doing the adversary today?
Hold on just a minute. I got to get people out of here.
Okay.
Okay, everybody else is here. No, we're not doing the adversary today. We're doing it at 10:30 on Monday. And I also have a Mills County case at 10:30 on Monday too. So this one's going to be quick.
I would like to clarify that I talked to, or I communicated with Russ Baker's office, and they don't show that they represent Mr. Lee.
Oh, I haven't officially, I mean, I did a consultation with him, but I have not officially hired him. No.
Well, he's not taking CPS cases anymore, so I don't think you're
No,
going to.
I know that. I know that. Yes, I'm fully aware.
Okay. So are you going to get another attorney?
Well, I don't know where we're going, so hang on. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I'm trying to, yeah, let's.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on. This case is reset. Okay. We already did the extension of the emergency orders, I believe, in that other case. Hold on just 1 second. 7, in the interest of the Department versus Price, everybody that's going to testify, please raise your hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Wilson, where are we going today? Has Mom been served? What do we know?
Well, let's see. I don't know a whole lot, Judge. I know that we were waiting. I think we were going to get Mom to do UA. I don't know the outcome of that, but Mr. Lee is here, so maybe that means it was positive. This was reset from the middle of the month, I believe. Just our next ordinary hearing, our review hearing that we would normally have in one of these. I think that's what I know for sure right now.
Mr. Wood, do you know if she was served?
Judge, I don't know if she was served or not.
Let me look, Judge. I should be able to find that.
Okay, while we're looking that up, department, where are y'all? We were concerned about participation case. We have fentanyl. If she wasn't doing anything, what's going on with y'all today?
So Nicole Floyd was arrested and is in the Houston County Jail. I believe she's still there. From the last time I checked, we are requesting just the order to participate in services. She still hasn't drug tested. And we would like her to participate in our family-based safety services from here.
Judge, I don't show a record of service on the mother. Maybe our district clerk can help us out if she's got anything. Maybe Miss Etter has it there in her file.
She appeared at the first hearing. If I remember correctly. Am I remembering correctly, y'all?
I don't think I was there on that one, Judge.
I
I
believe
didn't-
she was.
Excuse me?
I think she was.
I think
Yeah.
she was, Judge.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I agreed. Reset, mom on color scheme, hair strand per CPS, mom sign release upon presentment of probation record, reconsider attorney situation next hearing, safety plan remain in effect and circulated by CPS. Okay, well, and I think the reason we did that is because she wasn't using drugs and she wanted to prove to us that she wasn't using drugs and blah, blah, blah. So that's why we agreed to reset it till 7/17. So I'm just gonna say she made a general appearance.
And Judge,
7, I think about, yes, ma'am.
she, the citation was returned to us unserved on July 16th.
Okay. Okay, well, she was here, so thank you, Miss Etter.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, this case is only against her. Kids doing well, Miss McClure, where they're at?
Yes, they are. They're doing very well. I had a lovely visit with both the kids and placement. Julie is a very intelligent and articulate young lady, and she knows exactly what she wants, and she knows exactly why she wants it. And I am requesting that that she be able to drive the bus when it comes to contact with her father.
Okay, well, I can't order custody or any of that sort of stuff, but what I am going to order, because this is just a participation case, and the mother is the only party, but what I am going to continue to order is that the safety plan remain in effect, and Miss Floyd, Miss Price, whichever name she goes by, is ordered to participate in services as requested by the department. Now, I don't know how she's going to do that. She's going to be in jail. You know, a lot of this gives rise for Mr. Lee hiring a lawyer and doing, you know, a private thing that way. But that's the best I can order right now
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
when I only have one party in my suit. We will come back. Sorry, got the wrong thing. We'll come back for a compliance hearing. Y'all, county attorney's office, CPS, I guess we're going to move this to an FBSS worker, correct? But the FBSS worker is going to need to, I'm looking for court dates. Hold on just a second. Okay. FBSS worker is going to need to hunt her down in jail, find out what is all, you know, what she's pending, if she's going to safety, if, you know, if she gets out on bond, blah, blah. And I would suggest we go on, send her the plan and what y'all need her to do over there. We're not gonna be able to get a hair. I mean, the bummer is we're not gonna be able to get a hair strand because there's no jails that are gonna cooperate. We're not gonna get any UAs because no jail is gonna cooperate. So we're not ever really gonna get to the bottom of where we're here in the first place. Right, y'all?
But kids are safe and in the safety plan. I mean, I think.
I disagree with the kids being safe, by the way.
Okay, well, Mr. Lee, you know,
I
you're
adamantly
going to file something because you're not a party to, I've let you in, but you're not a party to it.
Okay,
They didn't
yes, ma'am.
name you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you know, the best I can do is, like you said, just go on.
I understand. I understand.
Yes, Mr. Wood. You know, if she's incarcerated for a long period of time, this might be moot. What is she in jail for, department?
Violating her probation after she tested positive for fentanyl with her probation officer.
Oh, they finally did that. Wow. Yeah, I thought they were being sort of lackadaisical
Because of me.
Yeah.
I called her probation officer, Miss Garcia, and had her drug tested.
What is she's on? Remind me, is she on for possession of controlled substance?
Yes, from 2022.
Okay.
This is her third stint on probation. Her third stint on probation.
Well, hopefully they'll. Yeah. I mean, if it's a state jail felony, what
It
we
is.
do now? I mean, whatever. So she'll go to do her time at Safe P and whatever. So we'll just see. Okay, this is going to be a hard one. So y'all, we're going to have a compliance hearing on October 9th. Okay. Mr. Wood, I'm going to keep you on. I mean, you know, you can do what you can do. You know, all you got to do is try to contact her, and that's about it, you know? And Ms. McClure, keep doing what you're doing, and y'all there'll be a new caseworker. There'll be somebody. We have investigations on here now. There'll be somebody from Family-Based Safety Services. Okay. Okay. Well, sorry, but we'll see what we can get done. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
That was the court. Thank y'all. Bye.